Hi Zesties. Okay, well today I am eating crabs from Mizm Smith in St. Pete. And for a little context, oh wait, look, one of you guys taught me this little trick. For context, she had made a post that was a little ruffled some feathers. I already knew I shouldn't have worn my nice work shirt. I already got it dirty before I even started eating the crabs, and I didn't ask for napkins. By the way, guys, please, all you crab people, start giving away those napkins automatically because I always get myself dirty. But anyway, she made a post ruffling some feathers saying people are overcharging for crabs, and I've seen everything from, you know, how are you selling me crabs this cheap, to like, okay, this is not a 5-star restaurant and you know it, you know what I mean? So, but she was advertising 7 for $25 and I got 8 for $25. So let's see what's up. I don't know what size these are, but they are a little small. But for 8 for $25, I'm not complaining. Woo! Not getting any scoopability from the sauce. But the sauce is very spicy. I should have brought my fork. See, this is the thing. I just need to get a crab cracker. I don't even care if you guys are gonna say, oh, you should do it with your teeth or whatever. But anyway, I'm not knocking anyone's hustle. All the crabs I've gotten in St. Pete have been like amazing, so even like the worst ones were really good. So, yeah. I know a Maryland person told me she eats everything, but I'm still a little freaked out about some of the pieces. Anyway, you guys want to know something crazy? Something that always shocks me when I go to South St. Pete is the abundance of food. So like, just as an example, ooh, some nice big sausages. You know, I like a big sausage. Okay. That makes me happy. But anyway, like when I come to St. Pete, the amount of, when I come to South St. Pete, the amount of food really surprises me, because like today I went into the line to get the crabs, which was a big line. And spicy. I think this is the spiciest sauce I've had so far. So anyway, when I was in the line, I saw everyone giving out cash, and I was like, oh gosh, they're cash only, right? So I was like, do you guys do cash only, or do you take Cash App or whatever? And that's another thing, guys. I don't really carry cash, and this was the first place to ask me for cash only. So just something to think about, maybe accepting Cash App, because like everybody that I've been to accepts Cash App. But anyway, so now this is gonna make me mad, because I know I'm gonna miss a bunch of claws here. Gosh, they gave me a lot of crabs. But anyway, so I was like, come on. Ugh. I'm gonna have to buy a crab cracker. I don't know why I keep forgetting. And I'm not using my teeth. As I said before, I'm a fabulous homosexual, so I can't, you know, crack my teeth like you guys. And I don't know what kind of teeth you guys have out here, but anyway. I'm just mad because I know I'm gonna miss out on a lot of claws, but whatever. Anyway, okay, so he was like cash only, so I went to this store, right, to get cash. When I went to the store, they sell every, you know, imaginable type of meat and seafood. And also, okay, yes, I got a claw, guys. And also, they were selling prepared crabs out of the store too. So I was like, dang, I'm buying crabs, and now I go to the store to get cash, and they're selling crabs out of the store. And not only that, but they were barbecuing outside of the store, and the barbecue, there were a bunch of people eating it. So, ooh, here's a nice piece. So I was like, dang, you know, the amount of food is so surprising to me. And like, I'm living on the beach right now, and I live in a food desert. There's no supermarket. There's like one restaurant. Not to mention the food's boring. It's not South St. Pete. Come on. Come on. I'm gonna have to get a crab cracker because I'm tired of wasting these claws. I just waste them. Considering I want to stay in St. Pete, by the way, run me up, guys, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to stay in St. Pete or in Florida. I messed up my living and financial situation, so run me up, guys. But anyway, so I was just like, dang, there's just food everywhere. And like there were like the barbecue, there wasn't just one, they were everywhere. There were just crab places and barbecue places, like everywhere. And I thought that was so interesting because, you know, I'm living on the beach right now, which is like a rich people neighborhood, right? And there's no food. It's like a food desert. And I was, I believe, in the worst neighborhood of St. Pete. Child's Park is the name. And the food was, actually, I don't know if I'm still there or not, but I went to find a shaded place to eat. But the food was everywhere. Everywhere. Just crabs and barbecue and everywhere. You guys want to know something funny too? I'm gonna start being a little, I'm so mad that especially because now there's so many crabs, I'm wasting so many claws. I'm gonna start being a lot more like open with you guys now, because I want to actually seriously be a content creator. But like, so when I was living in Tampa, I was living in a Cuban area. It's called Town and Country. So for me to get, I'm so mad because there's so many claws in here. And they probably thought, oh, he's going to enjoy those claws so much. Little do they know I didn't bring my fork, and I'm afraid to chomp on them with my teeth. Whatever, you know what? I will become a content creator, and I will stay in St. Pete, and I will have all the time in the world to eat the wonderful crabs. I want to put St. Pete on the map. No, there's no crabs like they do out here, okay? Louisiana might have the crawfish and everything. Okay, St. Pete has the crabs. No one's competing with St. Pete with the crabs. So anyway, when I was when I lived in Tampa, even though a lot of people say Town and Country is hood, but I don't think so. I think they just say that because it's like it's a Spanish-speaking neighborhood. You know what I mean? But like most of Tampa's, like most of Florida's like that. That's something that shocked me when I moved out here. Was like, they don't speak Spanish out here? Like what? But anyway, because my whole Florida experience before moving out here was just Spanish. You know what I mean? So anyway, I would have to drive like, I'm so upset because they gave me all those claws, and I bet you that they thought that I was going to enjoy it, but I need to get a crab claw cracker or whatever. So anyway, I would have to drive 30 minutes to get to like the hood of Tampa, right? Or, you know, the majority African American side of Tampa. So when I first moved to St. Pete, because when I first moved to St. Pete, I was living in a studio off Central that I now really, really, really regret leaving. In fact, this mistake may actually cause me to leave Florida. So, but you know, I was like, See, this one looks a little meatier. So I was gonna say, okay, you know, I know that they're cheap, but they are pretty small. I'm just gonna keep it real. And the sauce could be a little scoopier. However, for the price, I'm very pleased. I will return here. The only place I've been that I won't return to is Sup Crab. They're the only ones that to me I'm like, But anyway, when I first moved to St. Pete, I was like, where am I? Because, you know, a large portion of St. Pete is hood. I mean, and it's not like Tampa, where it's all like gentrified. Like, no, it's hood. So I remember when I first moved to St. Pete, I was like, where am I? But then I hit my first crab place. Shout out to Crispy Crab. And then I started meeting locals who are the friendliest people of the world, you know, and I was like, wow, okay. And you know, like, South St. Pete is just cool. Okay, so here's like some guts and stuff that the Maryland girl would be eating. But I just can't quite bring myself. I don't know. I don't know if I can eat the guts. But anyway, like, South St. Pete is just cool. Like, it's just really cool. Like, I liked the fact that the food was everywhere. Just literally food all around me. The people are very friendly. Even in line, like, some of the girls, there were these girls in line, and they were like chit-chatting with me and stuff. Ugh. I need to bring a fork. I forgot to bring a fork. And I need to get a crab cracker. I don't know what kind of teeth you guys have out here to crack with the teeth. But anyway, you know, in South St. Pete, the food is incredible. It's the best food in Tampa Bay, absolutely. And the people are very, very friendly. Not just everywhere in St. Pete, everywhere in Pinellas County. That's something that shocked me about moving out here, was like, whoa. Everyone's so friendly, like, everywhere, you know, not it's not specific to any specific area or like group of people or whatever. Okay, here's a big meaty piece. So, you know, it's kind of like crazy to me that I have to come from the beach out to South St. Pete to eat good, but like it just is what it is. That's just how it is out here. You know, I feel that because I always lived in Hispanic areas, the food was always a little more seasoned or whatever. When I moved out here, I was just like, see, I don't know if I can eat this squiggly. squiggly stuff. You know what? I'm hungry. I just ate some guts. Whatever. But anyway, the difference here is really, and I'm sorry, I should have found like a better place for you guys where there wasn't this sun. That's the hard thing about doing this in Florida, is that sun always messes me up, both messing up my video quality and making my phone overheat. But anyway, here, like, the difference is so crazy. Like, if you go, you know, I'm gonna keep it real, on the white side of town, and not downtown, because downtown St. Pete has all kinds of food and stuff, but, you know, when you go, like, really deep into the white side of town or whatever, the food's very boring. No seasoning, no flavor, no love, you know what I mean? And when you go to South St. Pete, there's seasoning, there's flavor, there's love, there's all of that. So if you are someone who's watching and you're like, oh, should I go to South St. Pete or not or whatever? Because when I first moved here, I was like, I'm like avoiding it completely until I tried crispy crab. And then I said, oh, I'm gonna be coming back here. But anyway, even if I end up leaving St. Pete and leaving Florida or whatever, at least maybe I have made some videos to shine some light on the wonderful city of St. Pete and how amazing the food scene is here. And something that I've mentioned in another video that I really appreciate about it is that St. Pete has a very vibrant and very unique food scene, and the food is American. You know, there is not some. I'm so mad. I should have found a better place with the lighting. That stupid sun. Oh, whatever. I'm in Florida. Come on. I got a little bit. But you know, St. Pete doesn't have so much international food. Whatever. But you know, they have really unique food, and it's, oh my gosh, the sun is really on me now. Oh my gosh. Whatever, I'm sorry guys. I'm new. Please help blow me up so I don't have to leave Florida. Thank you. But anyway, St. Pete does not have so much international food. You know, Tampa has more. However, South St. Pete has amazing food, and it is American. And I think that's really cool. So shout out to St. Pete. Okay, now let's get to the rating. I kind of put it off. So, of course, like, oh my gosh, that light, that sun is really bad. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I don't know what to do now. It's like, It's like too late. And I was trying to find a shaded place in order to avoid the sun. Ugh. Dang it. So, oh, let's see. This one's a little meatier. Okay. All right. So, my only criticism really, because the crabs are a little smaller than I've gotten at some places. Here's a big one though. The biggest I've had so far were at TNT. Even though I still think my favorite of the restaurants overall is Crispy, and my favorite of like the sellers would be Diana. Though I will always have a hot spot for Kaya. I mean a soft spot for Kaya. But like, my only criticism which is a criticism I've had of a lot of other places, is that I'm so sorry about the light you got, the sun. If I'm gonna blow up, I have to start eating in parking garages and stuff. The Florida sun is hard for a content creator. But okay, my criticism is that the sauce is not scoopable. At Crispy Krab, Diana, Kaya, there's a lot of like seasonings and stuff stuck at the bottom that you can like scoop up. And this does not have that. It's not scoopable. I haven't been able to scoop anything really yet. And these other places have made me a little addicted to the scoop. I'm so upset about that sun. Whatever. So anyway, I'm trying to think of what I would rate this place, because the price is incredible. 8 crabs for $25, so I kind of have to factor that in there. And it is better than sup crab. However, I have had better in the area. Although there's extreme, anyone in St. Pete knows there's extreme competition with crabs. But you know, I'd give this a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's good, it's delicious, the price is right. I definitely will come back. However, is it my favorite? No, I still think Diana overall is you know, flavor wise and wherever is my favorite. But I really appreciate the price. I'm eating some guts, whatever. I really appreciate the price. Even though the sauce is not scoopable, the flavor is really good. The crabs are a little small, but they're cheap. Some other places I've been to sell me 3 crabs for this price. So I am giving them a 7.5 out of 10. I'm trying to see. I think there's no more sides. I got 1 potato and 1 sausage. Here's where, you know what? Here's where I'm going to shout out my girl Kaya. I'm so mad about that, son. I'm so sorry, you guys. And I know I'm going to have to go home dirty, with my hands dirty. But here's where I have to shout out my girl Kaya. Even though this place is really cheap, I think Kaya's is the most bang for your buck because she gives you so many sides. But you know, this place is not the only place where I give that criticism, because even Diana, my favorite, I was like, I could use some more sides. I'm actually curious now because I'm a huge Bubba Gump fan, like the restaurant Bubba Gump. And there's a Bubba Gump on the beach, and I get the seafood boil there, and I was surprised at how good it is, you know. Oh man, I really messed my shirt up. You guys, this is not fair. And St. Pete, you guys have ruined like all my work shirts at this point. You guys have, like, some of them I can't get the stains out even in the wash. You guys have ruined all my work shirts, St. Pete. Shame on you. But anyway, you know, I used to say, oh, well, I've had the seafood boils in Louisiana and whatever. And that was like my, you know, what I thought about seafood before trying it in St. Pete, which is better. St. Pete's better than Louisiana, okay? I said it. I said it. And it's better than Broward, too. And Broward was really popping with the seafood. I'm so mad about the sun, but whatever. So, you know, I was always a huge fan of Bubba Gump. And although I get other items, I always get their seafood boil as well. And I really want to go back now and see if, after trying all these amazing places in St. Pete, if Bubba Gump is still going to be hitting for me. Oh. My battery's low, so I guess you guys get to talk to me until my phone shuts down. how do you guys deal with the pieces that are a little harder to get the meat out of? Whew. I'm not gonna lie though, you know, the sauce, even though I like the scoopier sauces, it's really good. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. I have to be careful because I accidentally put one of those. There we go. Lungs down there. Come on. Come on, Claw. Ugh. I have to get a crab cracker, you guys. And I messed up another work shirt, but you know what? It's all good because I'm enjoying my time in St. Pete. Who knows how long I'll be able to stay here. Run me up so I can stay. And you know, if I ever leave here, I will never forget the crabs. Trust me on that, I will not forget the crabs. No way. Something I want to say before my phone cuts off too. You know, if you're a St. Pete local, you might want to look at the local reviewers because, you know, the quality of the seafood and stuff is so high here compared to other places that everything's good to me. Like in Tampa, this would be a 10 out of 10. Go there every single day.